Chapter 13. The Tour. Our walk across the wide oval is more or less in the direction of the big central building made of white stone. It's where the smaller of the boys in uniform headed when they were dismissed. The others continued on to two other sizable buildings beyond that one. Those uniformed boys are disappearing into those three structures, maybe to change out of those stiff-looking uniforms. Those duds seemed much too heavy for a hot, sunny day like this one is becoming. None of the girls went in the direction of the boys, though. Kept in tight order, they were herded along by the house matrons to three other buildings far off to the east. Like Pop said, keeping the boys and girls as far apart as possible is the order of the day here. As soon as I think that, Superintendent Morrell speaks up. Boys' dorms ahead of us, houses 2, 4, 6, he says. Girls, houses 1, 3, and 5 off over to our right. East is east, and west is west, and never the twain shall meet, Pop says. Very good, the superintendent says, nodding in approval. You've kept your Kipling. As we continue along, the superintendent points out more things. Power plant, laundry, harness shop, print shop, dining hall. He stops, and a big smile splits his face as he gestures with both arms. And there are our livestock barns. There's a note of genuine pride now in his voice. The finest herd of Herefords in all of Oklahoma. Percheron horses that are the envy of the state fair. And our chickens, all Rhode Island whites, are so many and such reliable layers that we now have at least one egg a day for every student. Better than when I was here, Pop whispers to me as the superintendent strides ahead of us, unwrapping yet another mint and tossing the cellophane off to the side. Back then, I was lucky if I saw an egg a week in the dining hall, Pop chuckles. Though we did liberate quite a few eggs and more than one fat chicken from the hen house at night and cook them at our camp back in the Catalpa Grove. We're beginning to run into groups of male students, changed now into work clothes. Sunday makes no difference to cows that need milking, chickens that need feeding, and clothes that need washing. More and more boys are heading off to their daily chores in the barns, the laundry, and other work buildings. All of them politely greet the superintendent, but none speak more than a word or two. Good morning, and then a yes, sir, or no, sir, to any question he asks. None show any interest in me other than the quick glance of an expressionless face. As far as I'm concerned, that's aces. I would just as soon not be noticed. Being invisible would suit me just fine. Being anywhere but here would be even better. I also want to know more of what it was like when Pop was here. But everything is moving so fast that my head is spinning. I'm not going to get the chance to ask him anything. Pop has seen me taking notice of the other boys, and maybe he can see what I'm thinking as he so often does. He leans in my direction as we keep walking. Sunday, he says to me in a low voice that goes unheard by our enthusiastic guide, still striding ahead of us and praising the civilizing virtues of his institution. Sunday was always my favorite day. After morning service, drill, and taking care of chores, we were left on our own. No way they could keep an eye on us all. Pop chuckles. We went hunting in the woods, sneaked off and had our own fun. Like those boys you just saw there. 5 will get you 10, they're planning some mischief. Now, here we are, Morrell says. Building 1. We've come around to the broad steps of that big white building. Those steps are so wide at the top, I'd bet every student in the whole school could sit on them all at once. Up top to one side is a small screened-in porch. It looks empty. But as we ascend the stairs, our long-legged leader 2 steps above Pop and me, I see a slight movement off to the side, inside that porch. Its screens are heavy wire mesh. A closed, bolted door leads into the wooden box of a room that's no more than 6 feet wide and 10 feet long. Someone, staying in the farthest shadowy corner, is locked in there. One of our recalcitrants, the superintendent says, looking back over his shoulder. His voice is matter-of-fact. Another day to go in there for that young man. Not using the guardhouse anymore? Pop asks. Certainly not, Morrell replies. Discipline, of course, is still needed, but not in such uncivilized ways. Those unenlightened days are past at our school. Then he walks on into the building.
All right, that's the end of chapter 13.